Hey again, back at it again. It's Langston Bartley here on your favorite podcast, Created for Christ's Word. So, we just celebrated Mother's Day this past Sunday, and I pray everyone had a good weekend, that you were able to spend time with mom, maybe take her out to eat, just enjoying it. But we sadly did not get to we did not go out to eat because my dad actually cooked and we went to our grandparents' house. It was very rainy where I live. I'm in Jacksonville, so it was a lot of rain. It rained from Wednesday all the way to Mother's Day weekend. But no, rain is good. I feel like my mom made her a custom card. We gave her a gift card, first watch. She really enjoyed it. It was a chill. We didn't do a whole lot, but she enjoyed it. And so we celebrated Mother's Day this past Sunday. And I know it's pretty late saying this, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. And Mother's Day is one of those holidays that is celebrated pretty frequently, not just in the US, but around the world. And I'm choosing to share about Mother's Day on Wednesday for the same reason I did Easter on a Wednesday. Biblically, mothers are to be celebrated every day. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later on. However, I want to read some verses to you that I believe sums up the qualities of not just a good mother, but a godly mother. I talked about godly mothers a little bit last year too, but I'm going to specify more on this today. So this is my Mother's Day special. I say a godly mother because a godly mother outweighs the title of just being a good mother. Let me read you the verses. Proverbs 31, verses 10 through 31. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. The heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. She is like the merchant that ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. She considers a field and buys it. From her profit she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that her merchandise is good, and her lamp does not go out by night. She stretches out her hands to this staff, and her hand holds the spindle. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household is clothed with scarlet. She makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes for the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Amen. So Solomon writes these words to describe a woman who is respected by the people, someone who raises her children in the right way, lives a godly life, and most importantly, honors and respects God. Solomon poetically uses his wisdom to give a picture of a woman who, as the Bible pictures, respects God and is not just only beautiful and charming, but rather than just beauty being the only defining quality, he defines her loyalty to God as the ultimate quality. Never take for granted the godly mother you may have. And not only is she, if you have a mother, let me just say this. If you have a mother who is saved, lives a godly life, and respects God, not only is she blessed, but you are blessed. Never take for granted the type of this type of mother that you have, a godly mother. Many people in the world do not have a godly mother, and I'll get to that later on. Another thing I noticed about the text is that while, yes, Solomon uses these good qualities when describing a godly woman, he never goes out of his way to say that she is perfect. What do I mean? The reason he does not say this is because, in context, the woman is still human. He never said anything like she is perfect in all her ways. He never said that. Because like I said, in the context, the woman is human. The thing as children we forget about our mothers is that, well, they're human. We get mad at them and expect them because they're perfect. And when they make mistakes, we put them on a pedestal. Because, yes, it is good to put our moms in high places. The same thing is they're human too. They make mistakes. We can't just act like they're not human. And so we get mad at them, and at times we feel like they treat us unfairly. But the reality is, your mother is no less human than you are. That's not to say they are bad people, but don't judge your mom when she's scolding you or gets you frustrated. You may not know the reason. She may be overwhelmed from burnout, may have lost her job, has to deal with a bunch of kids. And so don't get frustrated at her. That's no easy task. What would you do in the situation if you had to feed a whole household? If you were a single parent taking care of all these kids, or if you had to work a job 9 to 5, you don't know how it feels. So stay in a child's place and just honor her. You don't know the reason for why she does what she does, but just honor her. Honoring your mother is not just something we do as young people just because. We don't just honor our mother because honoring our mother is some type of, we get some trophy or something like that. Honoring mothers is actually a command from God. When God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, he added this one to the list. Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Paul picked up this verse in the New Testament and he said this, Ephesians 6:1-3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee and thou mayest live long on the earth. By obeying and honoring your parents, you extend a long life on the earth. However, by disobeying God's command to honor both mother and father, you cut your days. And you don't realize how you are shortening your life. People say stuff like, we got a whole life ahead of you. That's not always true. Tomorrow's not promised. And the scary part about that is, what if tomorrow's not promised because you're being disobedient? I know young people dying is not all the time due to disobedience, but at times it is more to the evil hearts that men have. School shootings is simply done out of the wickedness of man. Also, the sin that has entered this earth allows room for disease to attack people's bodies and take them out at a young age. So yes, while a lot of times youth death isn't due to just disobedience, but you'd be surprised how many youth we have in our generation, just like us, that are being taken out of this earth, being cut off, dying due to disobedience. A lot of youth we find on the streets, excuse me, a lot of these youth we find they're on the streets, they're in mental hospitals, addicted to porn. So a lot of these things are due to disobedience of parents. We also have youth that are dying an early death in streets, car accidents, and suicide. A lot of these scenarios could have been avoided, but the disobedience of parents cost them big time. Now, I'm not saying that if you disobey 1, 2, or 3 times that you're going to die. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that what I'm saying and what I'm trying to get you to understand is that obedience and honor to your parents can save your life. When they're telling you don't sneak out, don't go to that party, don't be around those people, they're telling you that for a reason. They're not just doing it out of their own energy. They're not just saying don't do this just to say don't do this. No, there's a reason for it. And you don't need an explanation either. Because the only explanation you'll get is when you actually find out, when you actually disobey them. You don't need no explanation. Just obey them. Just obey them. And personally, I found myself in a lot of scenarios of being disobedient. I had my computer taken about 10 different times, I believe, or 11, 12, who counts? because I did not want to follow simple instructions. Disobedience to parents can cost you privileges, and it does not make you 100%. And it does not make you 100% trustworthy. Earning back the trust after dishonesty and dishonor is not easy. This is not something I heard. This is something I know. I had to gain a lot of trust back from those many times involving my computer, and it took a while. So obey your parents. Not only will you extend your days, but I promise you can live a life of blessings and you minimize your regret. Don't be the type of person that's in prison saying, man, I wish I would have listened to my mom when she told me not to be with those people. Man, I should have listened to my mom when she told me not to sneak out anymore. Man, I should have listened to my mom when she said, don't go on that computer and look at this. Man, I should, I wish. Man, I wish I did this. Man, I wish I did that. Man, I wish I didn't do this. Man, I wish I didn't do that. Don't add to the regret that you'll have in life. Minimize your regret. A life that is full of less regret is a good life. Personally, and then a godly mother loves the way God says to love. A godly mother's love is biblical. The Bible records the way we ought to love each other. I see a godly mother's love as represented in this verse. 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7, NIV. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Basically, it doesn't count up how many times you mess up. It doesn't go, hey, you messed up this time. Remember you did this. It doesn't just bring up past mistakes just to count up wrongs. Back to verse 6. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. All of these love traits, excuse me, can be found in a mother who lives in accordance to God's will for their life. If you have a mother who lives this kind of way, then you should walk the same way she does. If you see a mother walking in God's love, you are to do also. And just like Christ loved us, we are to love each other. Also, I think another thing too as it relates to mother's love, a mother should not be the only person who loves. A mother should not be the only person that says, I love you. Or love you too. A mother cannot be the only one that is pouring out love. You need to say love. Because if you really want to tell your mother that she is loved by you, then you need to express it. You need to tell her that she's loved. Or even if you're not good at saying it, express it somehow. Show them. Rather than just saying, also it's not good to just say you love them back when you're not really showing them. So express your love because one day, mama's not gonna be gone forever. Mama's gonna be gone. Mamas don't live forever. Like I said, mamas are human. Mamas are gonna have to one day go see Jesus. And they're not gonna be here forever. And if you really want to minimize the regret in your life, then make it to where you never regretted missed time with your mom. Or make it to where you never regretted saying, I loved you, Mom. Don't regret it. Mother's Day seems to be a very controversial holiday in the U.S. today. A lot of people I'm starting to see are not celebrating Mother's Day for various reasons. And it's not a sin not to celebrate Mother's Day. Yeah, you won't get punished for it if you don't celebrate Mother's Day. Because, like I said, honoring your mother should be something that you do out of the Christ in your heart. And honoring your mother should be something that is daily, not just on Mother's Day. So, yeah, it's not a sin. But in recent years, I've noticed that people don't celebrate Mother's Day because for some reason, the world seems to have forgotten what a mother is. What am I saying? If I'm being more specific, the world has forgotten what a woman is. The gender issues going on in this country is an assignment to destroy parental roles. People are saying that mommy and mommy or daddy and daddy is okay. You even have people who say that as long as the parent is loving, that the gender doesn't matter. However, regardless of what the world and LGBTQ community are trying to say, here's what God established. And regardless of what these laws and other stuff are trying to say, here's what God said in the beginning. Genesis 1:26-27. And God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female created he them. That was in the beginning, and that's still applicable to this day and age. When God made the world, he created Adam and Eve. He didn't make Adam and Adam or Eve and Eve. He made Adam and Eve, a man and a woman. And God defined that there are two genders. And regardless of what the world tries to redefine, the world cannot redefine what God has already set in place. No matter what kind of protests, laws, gender identities, pronouns, I, it, them, all that other stuff. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. That's the way it's always been. A mother is a mother and a father is a father. You cannot just choose to be the opposite gender because you feel like it. You cannot be a man because you say you feel like you cannot say you're a man because you feel like you're a man. You can't be a woman and say, I feel like a man today. Or you can't be a man and say, I feel like a woman today. You are a man and that's that. You cannot even say that you don't even have a gender. People are saying nowadays they don't got no gender. They're just non-binary, trans and other stuff. But God created you. And what God created you to be, that's what you are. Another reason I noticed in this day and age that people don't celebrate Mother's Day is because they've never experienced what a mother is. Many youth are dealing with all kinds of mother issues. Some people are dealing with mother abuse. Their mother's abusing them. Other people are witnessing maybe their father is abusing their mother. Divorce that separates the both parent and child. Mothers are getting drunk, on drugs, or they have to live with a grandparent or aunt. And sadly, this is the one that hurts me the most. Even if you have a godly mother, like I said, they're not human and eventually they have to leave. People have had to deal with the fact that their mother is no longer with them. Kids lose parents for all kinds of reasons. But I'm saying to you listening, and let me just say that. If you lost a mother, my heart goes out to you. God loves you. And if you saw yourself in any of these situations, keep your head up. And I'm saying to you listening that I have news. Even if you've had to live without the presence of a mother or a good one, God's presence is always present. God's presence is always present. Presence. I'm going to keep that. God has not forgotten you. Here's what Isaiah told the people of Israel when they thought God had forsaken them. Isaiah 49:14-16. But Zion said, the Lord hath forsaken me, and my Lord hath forgotten me. Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet I will not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. Here it is in the New Living. Yet Jerusalem says, the Lord has deserted us. The Lord has forgotten us. Never. Can a mother forget her nursing child? Can she have no love for the child she has born? But even if that were possible, I would not forget you. See, I have written your names on the palms of my hands. Always in my mind is a picture of Jerusalem's walls in ruins. Now, maybe you're saying, I'm still not convinced. I've had no parental figures all my life. Whether it's a mom, dad, or relative, I've been an orphan all my life. I've had 0 parental figures. I got something for the lost orphans in here too. When you're in Christ, here's what you receive. Romans 8:14-16. For as many as are led by the Spirit of God, these are the sons of God. For you did not receive the spirit of bondage again to fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption, by whom we cry out, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God. God is the father of the fatherless, and he is the mother of the motherless. What does that mean? If you never had a mama, he's there. If you never had a daddy, he's there. If you never had a grandmama, grandpa, uncle, aunt, or any relative, God will never leave you nor forsake you. You may not feel like you may not feel nothing. You may not understand what I'm saying. It may not make sense to you yet. And at times you may wonder if God's so with me, then I can't see him. But the natural is not as great as the spiritual. You may not feel like he's there because you can't see him. But even though you can't see him, he's always there. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. And so as I close this out, Mother's Day is a holiday that should not only be celebrated in the month of May. Mother's Day should be every day. Every day should be a day every day should be a day to obey, honor, respect, and express love towards your mama. A mother should not feel like she is not cared for, or that she's alone, or abandoned, or forgotten about. I've tried my best to honor my mother the best way I can. I have a godly mother. And sometimes as an imperfect child who is still trying to follow God and is still learning about following God. The two worlds and different personalities collide at times. I've experienced good days and bad days with my mother. However, the love that we have, it outweighs the strife that goes on in our lives. And so to finish off this episode, I wrote a poem for Mother's Day to read to my youth church Sunday, and I read it that Sunday. And I pray that it speaks to someone listening right now. Maybe you can see yourself in this poem. Or maybe you see your mother in this poem. This is the Mother's Day poem. Mothers, thank God for mothers. Mothers are patient. Mothers are kind. Mothers give wisdom and discipline your mind. Mothers are tough and smart in mind. Try her, and mothers will whoop your behind. A mother's discipline is done with love and care. It is all to make you better in life. I swear. Mothers are loud, smart, devoted, and fun. They are warm and affectionate, all wrapped up in one. Honoring your mother should not be odd. Honoring all mamas is a command from God. By doing so, you will live long on the earth. This command is greater than any phone's worth. Dishonoring mama cuts off your days. This goes to show that obedience to God pays. Pardon me, and I don't mean to gloat, but from my experience, mamas are the true GOAT. Not Jordan, not LeBron, not even Steph Curry. A real good mama outweighs any celebrity. If you have a good mother, then count yourself blessed. Many people today cannot call their mom the best. Even if your mom is good, bad, and in between, God made your mama, and to God he calls her a queen. Even if your mom did not parent you the best way, without her, you would not be alive and well to this day. Shout out to godly mamas. We cheer and support you. We love that God made you the way you are you. I know what I'm saying, and I'm not here to chat. If you really think about it, mothers are all that. So to mom, grandma, aunt, in our own special way, we thank God for you, bless you, and happy Mother's Day. Thank you for watching.